500 done and dusted. Ashwin has scripted another landmark moment for Team India and for himself. He is the second fastest Indian to get to 500 wickets at just 98 innings. So what led Ashwin to this landslide milestone, and how did he work throughout his career? Madhav Das, our executive editor, gives us an inside peek with a conversation with R. Ashwin's coach.
Joining us now is Sunil Subramaniam, R. Ashwin's childhood coach, joining us live from Chennai. Atul Vasan, former cricketer, also joining us in broadcast. Let me start with you first, Mr. Sunil Subramaniam. Let me start with the fact that he's just scripted history as the ace India off spinners, become only second Indian bowler to take 500 test wickets. What does this feat of Ashwin mean to you?
First thing first, thanks for inviting me. Second, I'm not, it's a problem, misconception that I'm his childhood coach. Actually, I'm not. I came into his life when he was well into 19s and 20s. So, when he was on the cusp of Ranji Trophy, the first 4 years of international cricket, that's when I handled him. Yeah.
Right.
Second, see, as far as the feat is concerned, it's hats off to him. And it's one thing that the present generation is blessed to have. They've been playing so many matches the last decade and a half, maybe 2.5 decades, that if somebody were to bowl really well and bowl as well as he's bowling, then the numbers will come, and he's somebody who's been blessed with these numbers. So, as well as I'm feeling elated that an Indian has gone past 500 mark, and especially a finger spinner. There's still about 20 test matches to look forward to in the next 2 years, and let's hope the number increases.
All right. Atul Vasan, let me bring you on this because, it can't be easy. 500 is a landmark. We've seen only Anil Kumble achieve that in the past. Take us through what it really takes, because it requires a lot of consistency, a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, sacrifice, so on and so forth, to actually come up to that level when it comes to the international fora.
Well, these qualities a lot of have, these hard work, determination. But then, some genius is given to you by God. But you have to have the thick skin and resilience, what Ashwin has. What I like about him is not a 500. A lot of people have that Nathan Lyon is somebody, finger spinner, who's doing better than that. James Anderson is like Benjamin Button, reversing the age. When Kapil Dev got 430, we thought, that was a huge mark. Then, Muralidharan goes to 800. It's not the wicket. It is the way. What I like about him, he is always challenging the establishment with what he has done. He bowled leg spinners, and you would have thrown out the Indian team. But his potency is there because he keeps on experimenting, keeps on bringing, no matter what people say, he knows what he's doing. He's like a scientist, and he's like artificial intelligence. He's like ChatGPT. The more he plays, the more data that goes in, the more enhancement is there in his potency. So I think it's a great thing for him. And he's been a lot through ups and downs. He was dropped for the Test Championship, and horses of course policy was there. Must be hard for a world-class bowler, number one in the world, for sitting bombing the benches. He's gone through that and is still at it, and he's not giving up. I think that is his thing. And he's 37 when we saw Rohit score a century. He's the second oldest Test captain ever at 36 to score a century. Today's thing is that today's 30s is the new 20s, so there are many more wickets for him to come.
Right. And let me put that question across to Mr. Subramaniam. So how have you seen Ashwin's game evolve over a period of time? As you said, you started off as, when he was in his late teens, early 20s. From there to now, over the last 17 years or so, how have you seen him evolve? Because as Atul Vasan was telling us, he's someone who just gets better with age in terms of his cricket.
See, I've said this even before, much before he made his Test debut too. And lots of Ashwin was being talked about. And I told him he's a combination of a lot of Indian greats. I mean, they mocked at me. But I know what Ashwin is all about. He's a thinker. He's an original thinker. I've played the game. I've been coaching, I've managed the Indian team. I know exactly how the mind works. In India, we tend to hype things up. Normal kids are thought great thinker, great strategist. This fellow is a genuine thinker. I mean, to the point of obsession. So he will keep thinking. He will outthink you, he will question you, he will bombard you, he will challenge you, he'll be confrontational. But the whole idea is to get a perspective that can work. I have not known many Indians who are like that, not just in the field of cricket, even otherwise. We are people who conform to type. So that has not left him. That streak is very much there. In fact, with age, I'm seeing that the guy has not really mellowed in it. He's ready for a scrap. He knows the rules, and then he's well read, he's well thought, and he knows how to go about it, giving it back, and he knows when to take a backward step. I mean, these are qualities that first thing for South Indian is pretty rare. Well, modern days, I think the world's changing, but I can see that he can give it to you. As good as he gets, he takes a lot of, he cops a lot of, as Atul was saying, for a top bowler to be dropped in all the important games requires a lot of ticker. So he's got that, he's got the heart, he's got the mind. So if you've got that kind of belief in yourself, then the numbers, he's always been blessed with numbers. Numbers are bound to follow. I'm looking forward for the next two cycles. That is the next cycle for the next 2 years, where we're playing 22 test matches, 10 overseas and 12 at home. It's about 100 odd wickets is what he can, it's not too far off a mark.
Right. And in fact, Atul, I want to quote something that he said, because he's spoken about changing his bowling action for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. He says, I did change my action for the series. It's nothing to do with how Australia prepped up. Every team that goes on tours, we know how difficult it is to start off on tours. We're trying to recreate match scenarios as much as possible. Australia would like to do that as well. When we go to England or Australia, we do that too. For me, there are different reasons why I changed my load up. I did that. I'm glad it just came through so well. So something that you were talking about earlier, this is last year in February where he put out that quote, where he has been quoted. How do you think, how easy or difficult is it to do something like that?
Difficult, I think you look at the conviction in the guy. I think he got some Punjabi gene in him, because, we North Indians are like this. We are, headstrong. And then just to say it out and then walk the talk. It's something maybe Virendra Sehwag has done it. So these are geniuses. But I must say that, just to change the action, how many greats at the peak of their careers in their sport have done that. I remember Tiger Woods, coming back, and he's got bored and changed his swing and still become number one. I know Dennis Lilly, with a critical back injury, he came back in his action and still on top. Not many people can do that. And not many people have the comfort or the leverage or that, the gap which is offered to them because of the genius. And just to follow it up, that shows how strong mentally he is. And I'm sure that we should cherish it. And I'm sure that even after he gives up cricket, he's the kind of guy that can actually push the barriers and take Indian cricket forward, even after retiring and adding so much value, even after he has given up the game.
Right. And in fact, let me put that question across to Mr. Subramaniam. The question that many would be asking is this, that, keeping yourself motivated at that peak level of cricket, at the highest level where there's so much of pressure, and also knowing that there is a sword that's always hanging over one's head, and Ashwin's been through those rough ups and downs, that's really a big challenge when you look at the kind of things that are at stake.
Yeah,
but that's a couple of things I want to say here. First thing is
Subramaniam first, and then I'm going to Atul. Yeah.
See, as far as the place in the Indian team is concerned, and with us playing in England and where him not playing, those are the challenges he's placed. But if you look at his threat in domestic cricket, there is nobody even quarter as good as him. He's 37, for God's sake. He'll be 40 in 3 years' time. We need somebody. So there is a cushion there. But he's not the kind who thinks on those lines. He will keep pushing the envelope, regardless.
Right.
He will keep doing what he'll be discovering. He'll be coming out with new strategies, some bluff, some right, some of them will be outright bluff. But he will be up doing what he has to do.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking about what the next line should be 2-3 years down the line. Do we have somebody even half as good as him?
Right.
When Bhaji had to go, we had him.
Right.
So I've been watching domestic cricket. I don't see anybody in the horizon right now.
Right. Succession, a huge issue of concern there, Atul. Are you as concerned as Mr. Subramaniam?
No, not really. I think that's undermining our system, our cradle, our NC and all that. I'm sure we find a challenge. When Gavaskar left, thought, oh my God, what's going on there? We have Tendulkar. We got Sehwag when we got Virat Kohli. So, King is dead, long live the king. Somebody is going to come.
So
and the field is changing. The test field is playing different. And I'm sure. But the point is that, I remember a story about, that when your natural faculties give way, Sehwag's career got over in 6 months. because he lost that eyesight, and within a fraction of a second, his natural genius went away from his hand, and he could not cope. But Tendulkar, when he had the tennis elbow, he could not lift a bat, and his main game was the front arm, because he was punching down the. This guy just changed all of his game, and then became, playing across the line with using his right arm, and then again remained on the top of the game. I mean, these are qualities not many people have. So we've got talented youngsters, but who has got the gumption, who has got that grit to just go through these phases and come on top? And this is all down to mental strength, which Ashwin has got.
Right. Mr. Subramaniam, you wanted to come in on that? You were trying to say something when Atul was speaking?
It happens what Atul said, it happens a lot in batting. I've always said it's easier to get into the team as batsman, easier to get out. It's tougher to get into the team as a bowler, tougher to get out. Try and a world-class bowler. It takes a lot as the game is going forward. Finger spinners, especially off spinners, might even be redundant. So to get a quality spinner is going to be, it's not going to be that easy. First, look at his numbers. Somebody who's got a strike rate of 21, average of 21 home conditions, it is surreal, it is freakish.
And also the interesting thing, Mr. Subramaniam, I was reading.
That level.
Yeah. Also, one interesting thing about Ashwin I was reading is that he wanted to start off as a fast bowler, but it was on the advice of his family that he switched to spin bowling. Did he ever share anything about that with you?
No. There's more to it. There is more to it. When I came down to coaching, and he was on the cusp, he had played as a batsman, and one senior cricketer had dropped him as a batsman, and he was not too sure that what will be his primary skill, batting or bowling. So he was somewhere there, but he's always into spin bowling. I just told him one thing. I said, Ashwin, in India, har gully mein cricket hota hai. Everybody will bat. So it is at any level, be it club level, first class level, at test level, it's easy to get in as a batsman. It's also easy to go by the wayside as a batsman. But if you've got the skills and you can execute those skills well, and you're a bowler and a batsman, it's hard to get into the team as a bowler. It's even harder to get out.
Right.
What was very interesting was he had the psyche of a bowler.
Right.
So he loved bowling.
And the rest is history. And
he still has the psyche of it.
Right. So let me, we are almost out of time, but before I let you gentlemen go, I'd like to ask both of you, Atul Vasan, what do you consider as the pinnacle moment as far as Ashwin and all of his performance over the years is concerned, in your view?
Well, what Sunil is saying that harder to get into the bowler, harder to get out. It was very easy for me to get out. It was harder for me to get in the team. But, he's got a fast bowler's mentality, trapped in a spinner's body, and he realizes his skills. But every day he comes and he has to, because if you don't evolve, you die in the international cricket. You can't just be genius and be one-trick pony for a season and then, hope to survive for a long time. He's just been evolving. You see his approaches, you see his change of actions, and then just to be on the mark, that takes a lot of thinking and a lot of guts to actually implement and go and try it out. Not many people have got guts, but I hope that he carries on, and he has to. You might see another factory, but you can see that the kind of character he is. He's got test 100. How many? I think 4 5. I don't know. And you can't take it away from him. So I think I'll thank God. Then everybody, even Tendulkar started off as a fast bowler, went to MRF, didn't get selected. Then thank God that he shifted to batting. Thank God Ashwin is bowling off spinners, which is the least admired skill in cricket. Anybody who cannot bowl can bowl off spinners. That is the saying.
Right. Mr. Subramaniam, what according to you is a pinnacle
I'll give you two more.
Please go ahead.
I can't choose, asking a coach to choose. I mean, the very fact that he's evolved and he's playing and performing, I'm happy seeing that. But there are two interesting pieces of statistics I want to give. Of all the Indian bowlers, who do you think have got the most bowled? We would think it's Anil Kumble. Actually, it's Ashwin. He's got more than 100 wickets bowled.
Interesting.
Wicket to wicket.
Right.
And second, there are only two cricketers who have got 25 5-wicket hauls at 500s.
Interesting.
Rian Botham and Ravichandran Ashwin. He is that valuable. So there's much more to him than just his bowling. The lot that he can, there's a lot on his plate, and So long as he's fit, let him keep playing, let him win matches for us, and let's enjoy watching.
And are you confident that he'll break Anil Kumble's record as well? 619, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, that's what I put the numbers in front. There are 22 test matches. I'm counting even this one. So even if we go, it's just for 36, 5 wickets a game at home and 3 overseas, about 90 wickets. So that will be pushing it to about close to 600. My only thing is the age factor. Since he made his debut in his 20s, 25, he is now 37, he will be 39. If his fitness is there, I don't see any reason why he should not be. I mean, a serious challenge to 619 and maybe even breaking it one day. And Anil will probably be the happiest man when that happens.
Perhaps. But thanks so much, Sunil Subramaniam, Atul Vasan, for joining us, and wishing all the best to R. Ashwin for bringing us so many of those magnificent moments in cricket that all of us here as fans are extremely proud of. Thanks so much for joining us this evening, gentlemen.